What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So we are continuing along with these 5-year new look rebuilds, as today we're back in the Eastern Conference. And today we'll be talking about the team that made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and had a bunch of competitive games against the Celtics but fell short. So let's go ahead and do this new look 5-year Indiana Pacers rebuild. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. If you are looking for a share scenario to play at home, go ahead and search up this gamer tag under Crushables. Should be able to find it on Xbox. Some of the comments I've seen have also told me they've been able to find it on PS5 as well. I don't know how, but apparently I found it. So if we take a look at what the Pacers have done this offseason, I'm not sure there's a lot of new additions. I mean, Wiseman, of course, is a new addition. Of course, they drafted a few guys like Johnny Furphy, Oscar, Tristan Newton, and then Enrique Freeman. So yeah, I guess they did a few things. They brought back James Johnson to be, obviously that protector off the bench, but obviously, Benedict Mathurin was not part of the conference finals run, so having him back is going to be a huge boost. And then this will be a full season with Pascal Siakam. So, as always, for year number one, we are... Oh, and they just gave Andrew Nembhard a new contract as well. And then, Siakam got the new contract. So, they have re-signed some guys and stuff like that. But we are going to go ahead and simulate year number one, and we're just going to simply see how this Pacers squad does. What does 2K think this Pacers team is capable of? Is what we'll be finding out in year number one. That's what we've been kind of doing. Sometimes we stop at the trade deadline, and a low-key could be appropriate to stop at the deadline for the Pacers because, they're a team that just made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and want to prove that it wasn't a fluke, right? So, maybe there's a move to be made at the deadline. It all just depends on everything. Now, we do have to cut 3 players, so let me do that really quickly, and then we can look at the rotation together. So right out of the gate, Power Rank is going to land us at 4-star in a perimeter-centric system, so I'm excited about that. But of course, it's going to be Halliburton, Andrew Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin, Siakam, and Miles Turner. I really like that starting 5 a ton. Of course, Andrew Nembhard showed a lot of what he can do when Halliburton was out in some of those games in the East Conference Finals. He was phenomenal. Obi Toppin as a 6-man, Aaron Nesmith, James Wiseman as the bench center, and then TJ McConnell. I really like it, low-key. And then Jarris Walker, I still wonder what may eventually happen with him because with Obi Toppin returning, and of course, obviously having Pascal Siakam, I do wonder if Jarris Walker is going to ever find a way to crack into this rotation or if he's just going to be shipped off for a veteran return because the Pacers are trying to obviously contend a little bit. So that would be an interesting storyline to watch in real life. I'm not really sure what I want to do with him, to be honest with you. I can't sit here and say he'll be out of the rotation completely next year. So I guess what we can try to do is give him some minutes. So that's probably the best plan of action. So let's go to bench utilization being 50. And then instead of Isaiah Jackson getting these minutes, I guess we'll throw them to Jarris Walker. I also hate that Ben Shepherd's not getting minutes because he was obviously a rotational player for them last year. So yeah, there's a lot of guys we're technically leaving out, but that just means we have quite a bit of depth. So maybe it will be appropriate to stop at the deadline and try to make an upgrade somewhere. So maybe we do that. I'll see you guys potentially at the deadline, if not at the end of year number one. And one other thing really quickly is I want to look at shot tendency. So Halliburton's shot tendency needs to increase. Siakam's, of course, is good. And then Mathurin would like to see it maybe at like an 80 at least. And Nembhard, push that up to like a 70. So we'll do that. Somewhat year number one. I've done enough yapping, and let's see how this Pacers squad does. Today's video is brought to you by 2 softwares designed to help you beat the sports book and become a much profitable sports bettor. If you bet on sports and really suck at it, I promise you these are the tools that can change that and fix that very quickly. So if you take a look over on the DGF optimizer is where we'll start. So it is late at night as I'm recording this, so there probably isn't like a ton of like real sports plays, but they do have some esports value on here. I know betting on esports sounds absolutely degenerate, but there is value. I used to do it. I don't do it as often anymore. But if you look at decency, under 31.5 kills, as you can see, you got 3 other books at 30.5, and then 20.5, and then 31.5. So it would literally make no sense for us to say, hey, let's go take the under at 20.5 on this book when we can obviously get it on Prize Picks at under 31.5. You clearly kind of see how this works. You're just basically scanning value, comparing markets, and you take the best, value possible across all these different sports books. It's just like if you were buying a car or pretty much anything in life. You're going to try to go get it at the cheapest place possible. That's the same principle you take into sports betting when it comes to positive EV, which is what DGF is all about. And of course, like I said, if you're on Prize Picks Underdog, they got you covered here on the optimizer. I also love using OddsJam positive EV tool. So right now, not a ton of good examples on the board. I only saw, so this is such a, actually, this is a decent one. So under 8.5 total runs on Rangers, St. Louis Cardinals. So if you take a look at this one, at minus 105 on FanDuel, clearly this is the best price we can possibly get on this one. You have minus 115, minus 115, minus 118, but getting at minus 105 is a no-brainer when we obviously can go ahead and get the best price possible. So that's basically what it is. You're just comparing markets, and trust me, if you do this, it changes everything for you. And it's absolutely done that for me. I used to bet on sports. I'd quit because I'd get absolutely shelled. But ever since I was introduced to this back in like August, it took me a while to actually bite into it. But once I did, I finally committed around like November. It's just been an insane change for me. So hope you guys check it out. If you do, links down in the description below. Use code Crushables. Percentage off your first month if you check them out. On that, let's get back to the video. So at the end of year one, Luka Doncic wins MVP. Obviously, that's been a trend in these videos. He does that quite often. Russell Westbrook, sixth man in Denver. These awards usually stay the same, but we actually have a pretty good season upon us. 57 and 25 for Rick Carlisle and Wes Hudson, Executive of the Year. Obviously, we haven't done anything too crazy just yet. I did think about talking at the deadline, but I imagine pushing Halliburton's shot tendency up helped out a ton because he averaged 26 and 12 and was just an amazing superstar for us like he should be in real life, of course. It was very good last year and then kind of slowed down a little bit, but obviously still a very good young point guard that is going to be very fun for years to come. But if you take a look at the player stats, he had 26 from Howley, he had 19 from Siakam, 15 from Mathurin, 14 from Andrew Nembhard, 12 and 8 from Miles Turner with 2 blocks. So all around, very, very impressed with how things went. I thought about making a move at the deadline. I decided against it. I just felt like the chemistry was really good. We got the first seed. We won 57 games. So I just felt like maybe we just let things kind of sit how they are. And let's see what 2K thinks of us in the playoffs. So Boston in round one is kind of ironic, of course, because this team beat us in the conference finals last year. Now that they're the 8th seed and we have home court advantage, I'm curious to see how this may go for us. So let's see what happens. So many come around against Boston. And we are going to beat them in 6. Kind of should have known that because Boston in 2K is kind of trash. They made the 8th seed. I mean, that's just all you need to know about 2K simulation. So, you got Kyle Lowry as the starting point guard, Maxey, Paul George, Drummond, Joel Embiid, Oubre, Markelle Fultz is back in Philadelphia, Kenyon Martin, Caleb Martin, and Jared McCain. So, yeah, this should... Oh, Drummond starting at power forward. I literally just noticed that. Yeah, I might need to fix Philly in this file because obviously that clearly makes no sense. But somebody come around against them, and Philly is always usually pretty tough in year one, but we do even the series, and we're down 3-2. It would be cool to go rematch against the New York Knicks, but we got to win 2 in a row in order to do that, so let's see if we can maybe make that happen. So, game 6 in Philly to push us back to Indiana. Can we do it? Back and forth game thus far, and it looks like we might... Ooh, oh, maybe? No, we're going to lose. So, we're going to lose 132-147. Siakam and Halliburton gave it all they got, but unfortunately, it did not matter. We fell short to Philadelphia. Drummond and Embiid, of course, makes no sense, but for whatever reason, it works in 2K. So Luka Doncic goes on to get his championship, Finals MVP for him as well. So Eric Gordon's retiring. You got LeBron retiring, Lowry, Horford, Timberwolves. Mike Conley's retiring. So Dillingham gets the full show now. But let's keep going, man. I think this offseason we will make a trade to try to upgrade the roster. I'm not really sure what position I want to upgrade because I kind of like our roster a lot. I really do. But we'll see what we can maybe make happen. So Houston. Gonna get Phoenix's pick at number 1. We do have our pick this offseason at 29. That's good to know. Rick Carlisle, of course, is gonna be here to stay. We just gotta make sure we got everything else filled out. So 29th pick in the draft. I think for us, we're gonna get expensive. So maybe hitting on that selection would be awesome. So I think that's what we'll do. I think as far as making a trade is concerned, I'm gonna wait till the final moment. I kind of want to see how much Jarris Walker is going to develop. Maybe that ain't the best plan of action, but that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Let's just head into draft night first. But if I was going to upgrade a position, I really got to consider what we would do. Because clearly Halliburton's the point guard. I like Andrew Nembhard, and maybe trading him would make a ton of sense just because I think if he was, traded to another team, he'd be amazing. And I feel like, Andrew Nembhard in real life is going to have a ton of trade value potentially to a team. So maybe we could do something like that and upgrade the shooting guard spot or the 3 spot and move Mathurin to the 2. Maybe we do something along the lines of that. I think that is the one position I would upgrade if I was going to make a trade here. So we'll see, though. I'm going to draft at 29 first, and then we'll look at potential trades, maybe around free agency or in the midst of free agency. So who do we want here at 29, though? So we got Gary, we got Freddie Dillon, we got Petite. So what do we got here? All-Star. I guess we'll take Taj Petite out of Auburn, 6'1" guard. Welcome to Indiana. So we also get Chris Parker very late in the second round as well. Player options, we're going to accept all of these because we might need some, small contracts or whatever to throw in to a trade in Isaiah Jackson. I'm assuming Wiseman won't be able to be re-signed. Miles Turner is also free agent. That's something we need to keep note of as well. So we're going to go ahead and scan the market for a trade. We got to make sure it's a good one because Andrew Nembhard's a damn good player. But if we can get an upgrade there that we think makes sense, then maybe we go for it. So as far as looking for a brand new shooting guard slash wing to bring in here, I have a couple of ideas. I'm just not really sure if it's worth it. I think Brandon Ingram is one of those players that might be able to fit in Indiana just because there's so much spacing around him. But I don't really want to go for that because he also is kind of one of those guys that needs like the ball in his hands a little bit. RJ Barrett also sounds kind of fun. I know just thinking about RJ Barrett in real life, you know, doesn't sound like the most spectacular thing in the world. He's an okay player. But in 2K, he can be incredibly good. And I kind of like his height potentially at that small forward spot. So I kind of like the idea of RJ. The Raptors were willing to give him up, of course. But the other big home run go-get hitter would be going to the Suns and trying to get D-Book off of them. I mean, clearly, if we're going to go try to win a championship, Devin Booker sounds like a ton of fun. I think I got him in one of these videos already. But, I mean, if we're going to trade Andrew Nembhard, like I said, I wanted a damn good player in return. And D-Book would absolutely be that. It would gut our roster quite a bit, but imagine a Halliburton and D-Book backcourt with Siakam, Miles Turner. I mean, that just sounds insane. So I kind of like it. I'm going to see if we can get Devin Booker. If not, I might go for RJ Barrett. If not, I might just settle with what we got. Because like I said, if we're going to be trading Andrew Nembhard, we're going to make sure it's a damn good return. And D-Book is going to be one of those guys that would absolutely be that. So now the roster will be expensive, but, you know, Halliburton, you know, of course, is making $38 million, which actually I don't think that's what his contract is in real life. But of course 2K doesn't let you like move it up to where it should be, so whatever. But we're gonna go ahead and try to make this happen. So we're gonna include Jarris Walker in this trade. Probably gonna have to include Aaron Nesmith as well, and then we're gonna need $8 more million in this trade. So it's probably gonna be like McConnell, and then we can go with one of these young players we got. So like maybe we go with Taj Petit, who we just drafted, and then we give up a future 2029 first. So, like I said, this gives up quite a bit of depth, but if we get D-Book, I mean, Devin Booker, they're not interested, though. Okay, so we're close to making something happen, but they say no. I don't know if, you know, we could throw maybe Wiseman in here. He does have better trade value, but that gives up our backup 5. I don't hate it, though, because I don't think we'd be able to re-sign him after the season anyway. So, what do you say to James Wiseman? And we get Devin Booker. So, Devin Booker is a brand new addition here in Indiana. He's going to go to shooting guard. So now we have a backcourt of D-Book and Halliburton. So Phoenix was clearly selling. They get a bunch of good young players to, you know, start their rebuild. Mathurin will continue to play the 3. And obviously our depth takes a little bit of a hit, but we'll figure it out. So we do know we have 2 centers in free agency. That will more than likely bring back now that we brought Devin Booker in. We'll absolutely be going for it now. So Miles Turner, $25 million, and Isaiah Jackson will bring him back as well. So bring both those guys back. No brainer there after doing what we just did. So now we are a very expensive roster, but a team that's going for it. Now Ben Shepherd gets some minutes, which is great. Taj will probably not be ready to play next year. We don't really have a backup small forward or a backup point guard, but we will get that figured out. So we can only go to minimum guys now, I believe. If we take a look, I'm more than, you know, confident we're over the second apron now. So yeah, definitely are. So we're going to go to day 12 free agency and see who we can snag on the minimum to go for a championship run in year number 2. So we basically swing big at the very beginning of the video. It says we can get like Trey Jones, but like I said, in real life, if, you know, Indiana did something like this, they would definitely not be able to go for anybody too expensive. It'd have to be minimum contract. So point guard and small forward is what we're looking for here. So if we can get Alvarado, usually that's kind of one of the guys I like getting. So if we can get him, I don't know if you'd sign a 2-year deal, but a minimum 1-year deal sounds good to get him. And small forwards, getting Kisper would be absolutely amazing, but I wish I could do that. Zaire Williams or Terrence Davis. We got Ricky Council's restricted. We gave him a minimum. I imagine he's going to get matched, though. Amir Coffey doesn't sound terrible. Would he sign a minimum, maybe? Yeah, I think he would. All right, so if we get Amir Coffey and Alvarado, I don't think that's a bad free agency to, you know, get a little bit of depth here. But Halliburton, Booker, Siakam, Turner, Mathurin top, and Isaiah Jackson and Ben Shepherd also developing, which is nice. Furphy is also going up. We might be able to move him to small forward. He might be able to play over Amir Coffey, low-key. Yeah, he's up to 76, so I was not really expecting Furphy to be ready, but hey, if he can be, that's awesome. All right, we're going to year number 2. Bring in Devin Booker. We go big in this video. We want to try to bring Indiana a championship. We're not staying complacent. We were very good last year, so maybe going for Devin Booker wasn't the best way to, you know, handle things, but I like it, honestly. Low-key, I kind of like it. If, you know, when I think about the Pacers, it kind of reminds me of the Blazers and the Hawks. You know, the two times they made it to the conference finals, they never really, you know, bounced back after that. It was kind of a, you know, as you could tell, kind of a fluky run, and I'm able to admit that as a Blazers fan as well. The teams didn't do anything to improve after that, and they obviously never got even close to coming back to it. So, want to make sure we're not doing that with Indiana, basically. So, let's go ahead and simulate this season. We'll run a 10-minute rotation. That way, Furphy gets some run. and we shall see how it goes. I will send Taj to the G League as well, but I'm more than excited to see if bringing in Devin Booker is going to make us even better than we already were. So at the end of year 2, Luka wins MVP, Dylan Harper is your Rookie of the Year, Nikola is your 6th man Wemby Defensive Player, Dillingham Most Improved, Luke is your Clutch Player, and Mark is your Coach of the Year, and John Murphy is your Executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, Halliburton making it All-NBA second team. Love to see that. Would be cool if we got Devin Booker on there as well, but I highly doubt it. But at the end of all things year number 2, we end up as the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference. Of course, we brought in Devin Booker to win championships. So let's try to make sure that happens. We'll see if we can make it happen. So I shrunk it down to 9-man rotation after the deadline. Really wanted to tighten things up. Alvarado and Ben Shepherd are at the bottom of rotation. Shepherd's kind of cold right now. I need you to step it up, my friend. Other than that, we get Chicago in round 1. So let's see what the Bulls got. They got White, Levine, Ace Bailey, Patrick Williams, Nikola Vucevic, Lonzo, Capella, and Jalen Smith. So similar current round against the Bulls, and we are going to beat them in 5. So off to a good start, and now we get the Charlotte Hornets of LaMelo, Gary Trent, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, Mark Williams, and Grant Williams. So not a bad team by any means. Charlotte has given me problems in the past, so I don't think this is going to be an easy dub by any means, but of course, losing in round 2 would be disastrous after, going all in on D-Book, and we're up 3-1, and are we going to finish them, please? Yes, we beat them in 6, W, so we were coming to Charlotte, beat them, and now we draw the Knicks. Okay, this should be fun. Of course, Knicks and Indiana went the distance in the 2nd round last year in real life, and now we'll see if we can maybe beat them again. Of course, the Knicks fell down due to injuries, and it really hurt them in the long run, but we'll see if we can win again here. No injuries this time, as we're up 2-0, and we also have Devin Booker this time, and we are going to sweep them, so off to a great start here, as after the Devin Booker trade, we get into the NBA Finals. But now we have to play Minnesota, who has a man named Anthony Edwards, who is a 99 overall here in 2K, so here goes nothing. Game 1, down 1-0. Game 2, even it up, though. We do got Devin Booker, so we do have a decent little shooting guard matchup here, but let's go ahead and see if we can win this game 5 as we had even the series. But we got to come out here and win this game 5, and if we do, we might have done all that we could to have brought a championship to Indiana, and we are going to win game 5. Now, do we finish them in 6? Yes, we do. So just like that, trading for Devin Booker seemed to have paid off. We didn't stay complacent. We didn't just stand still. We made a trade. Year 2. We get Indiana championship, and that is what I was, trying to lean towards. We made it happen. For the last 4 offseason rebuilds, it feels like I've never gotten the championship to year 4 or 5. Today we get it done very early in year 2, and I could not be happier about that. 76ers are back to number 1. Toronto's going to have our pick from the Siakam trade. So new draft picks this offseason. I mean, we kind of went all in and made the big trade on D-Book, so there probably won't be a ton of movement this offseason, but we can grab Willie Green if Willie Green wants to join a championship team to try to go win a championship. Maybe bounce back on his feet and eventually get another job. I'm so down for that. But I'm very excited and pumped that we got that championship out of the way in year number 2. So let's see who the assistant GM takes for us in round 2 here. James Brown, welcome to Indiana. And then player options, Shepherd and Chris Parker. And then we definitely still need to figure out, Mathurin's about to get paid, and Johnny Murphy. This team is about to get expensive. But all right, let's lock in. So Mathurin wants $32 million. Damn, okay. Well, if we can't lose them. That's definitely something that we cannot afford to lose. But we still need to sign depth. So Petit comes from the G League. I don't know if he'll be ready to play, but it would be cool if he was. Small forward, of course, both our small forwards in free agency. So basically, the only thing we truly need to do is maybe just get a minimum contract just in case. So we are going to pretty much be renouncing probably Mir Coffee. We won't bring him back this time around. Renounce those guys on a moratorium. So Furphy and Mathurin are the only 2 guys we're obviously clearly worried about. Then whatever minimum point guard we can maybe snag here somewhere. So maybe we get a Sharif Cooper or a Dennis Smith Jr. just in case. So I'll sign Dennis Smith as some depth to start this free agency off. And then you guys know the strategy for me. If you go as far as you can in free agency, you make guys a little cheaper. So Mathurin, if we can get him down to $25 million, that'd be kind of cool. I don't know if we'll get him that low, but I'm going to try anyway. Furphy will come back as a qualifying offer no matter what. So yeah, I think we can maybe get him down to that. So we do. W. So 5 years, $23 million. I think that's pretty solid for him. So we'll sign him to that. Furphy's back. And now we're simply just going to run the same team back again. And Petit actually developed into a 75. So he will definitely crack the rotation, which is nice to have as a luxury. So let's get into year number 3. And let's see if we can go back to back. Another MVP for Luka Doncic. Would love to see maybe Hallie get that one in one of these seasons, as Oklahoma City won 70 games. Damn, okay. Halliburton does make All-NBA second team, so that's fantastic. I really do think boosting his shot tendency up just like gave us kind of a cheat code day, which is nice because it was like a 70 shot tendency or whatever, but we're back in the Eastern Conference as a second seed. So if we take a look at the player stats, he has 25 from Halliburton, 22 from D-Book, 60 from Mathurin, 16 from Siakam, 10 from Miles Turner, 9 from Obi Toppin, and 8 from Isaiah Jackson, and then 8 from Furphy, and 8 from Shepherd. So all around, very, very solid stuff. Love that. And now we get to see if we go back-to-back. So we get Orlando, which, of course, is a very nice, young, and exciting team. We got Franz, Paulo Banchero, Jalen Suggs. But yeah, going to be a tough matchup. They got Jovic and AJ out of the draft as well. So damn good team. Let's see if we can get out of round one here. Again, as we are down 3-2, so we are tested very early against a very young Orlando team. So, you know, losing to them wouldn't be the worst thing in the world just because we got our championship. But and Orlando's a damn good team, and it looks like we might end up doing that, which sucks. Unless if we come back in this game, which we've gotten close, but we are going to lose, man. So we get bounced in round one against the Magic. That's definitely disappointing, especially, of course, after bringing home a title to Indiana and then getting eliminated in round one the very next year. Kind of sucks. Of course, it's very hard to go back-to-back, but man, that's disappointing to say the least. But let's get in the lottery. Not that this is going to matter for us. Our pick... actually, we do have it this time around. That's nice. So, I mean, I think Rick Carlisle we let go then, just because based off how things have been going lately, and we go get an upgrade, or maybe a replacement, rather. So, Ime Udoka sounds good, and he does come to the team, which is great, and we still have Willie Green, which is nice. Could have just hired him if needed, but it looks like we can get, like, a damn good coaching staff assembled here, and just basically... You know, we could, so we're going to make sure Willie Green does not leave us, and then it looks like Bickerstaff is not going to be a permanent defensive coach. So Bickerstaff declines, which is fine. But we are going to get Wilkins, which is nice. And now we just need a perimeter D coach, and we have a full coaching staff. We got a decent one here, so we'll just take him. And we're about to go into year 4. So let's head into draft night and see if we can nail this 27th pick. It looks like we did pretty good with that Petite pick or whatever. So we got Dylan Mingo. We got Brandon Bass. Shout out to Brandon Bass, if you remember him in the league. Very, very much a throwback there. I'm going to take him for the vibes. I mean, it's Brandon Bass. Right? Why not? Let's take him. So out of Florida, welcome. And we're going to get Chin in the second round, who's a 68 overall. Probably not even worth the roster spot. So we got Petite. Nice. And then James Brown. We'll accept both of those. Shepherd, Furphy, and Chris Parker are free agents. Of course, I'm probably not worried about Chris Parker as much, but I'll extend it anyway. And we'll see how much these two guys are asking for. So Furphy... $11 million, and Shepherd also $11 million. I think we just give both of them their contracts and call it a day. We'll have them locked up for the rest of the video. We only got 2 more seasons anyway, so we'll bring them both back. And this team is damn expensive, but that's kind of how it goes in every video, because if I don't make the team expensive, we're not going to win a championship. That's how 2K works. All right. I don't know if I'll be doing much of anything else. I guess what we could... I mean, the one thing I wouldn't mind doing is maybe upgrading the backup 5 spot, but it has to be, you know, kind of the right thing. So we can't obviously attach players with Isaiah Jackson, but we get a good 5 offered to us that we can take back. So Khalil Ware is kind of interesting. 8 and 6, shoots a little bit as well. So kind of fits what Miles Turner does, but he does have to be paid next year. Isaiah Jackson is expiring as well, so it's not like it's any different. Gary Trent, let's just take a look. So Mitchell Robinson makes too much, can't do that one. Darius Missy is interesting as well, but probably won't develop into anything close to what Isaiah Jackson is for us as far as overall is concerned. So yeah, we could technically go for Khalil Ware and get cheaper, but he's probably going to be asked for like $20 million in the offseason, I assume. Isaiah Jackson is going to have to be resigned though as well. I don't know. Do we do it? Probably not. We probably just run the same roster back. We already got a championship with him one time, so let's just ride with it. And let's see if, like, Taj goes up. Let's see if Isaiah Jackson maybe moves up. Maybe we get lucky there. Imagine Khalil Ware goes up to, like, an 84, and I just sold the bag, but we'll see. So I'm going to take a look at that just for pain and suffering, if that is the case. So these guys are developing, which is nice, but Miami, let's see. Did Mr. Khalil Ware go up? He is an 81, so nothing crazy. He was, like, the same overall as Isaiah Jackson. What if he went up to, like, an 84? He didn't do that, thankfully. But we're going to year 4. We're going to see if we can bounce back after getting eliminated last year in round 1. Maybe this time we don't draw an Orlando Magic team. Perkins going to let us 15th overall. Of course, we're running a defensive system. We're definitely not doing that. We'll go to a balance. We're running a perimeter centric earlier in the video, but we'll go to a balance under Ime Udoka and see how it works out. Defense, of course, is not anywhere close to where we should be. So let's go ahead simulate year number 4, and let's see if we can bounce back and actually get into the playoffs this time and not get bounced in round 1. So another MVP award for Luka Doncic, but I was kind of hoping we'd see Coach of the Year, but unfortunately the Thunder go 6-7-15, so we don't get that. No Howley All-NBA first team either. I would love to see that eventually, but we have not gotten that once in this video. But we do get the first seed. We reclaimed that, which is nice. So take a look at the player stats. Yeah, 25 from Halliburton, 21 from Booker, 17 from Mathurin, 15 from Siakam, 11 from Furphy, and then 10 from Obi Toppin, 8 from Isaiah Jackson, 9 and 7 from Miles Turner, and or sorry, 8 I should say. Ben Shepherd with 8, and then Taj with 4, and then 2.5 assists. All right. We get Miami in round 1, so we get to play Khalil Ware. We kind of thought about trading for him, of course, but we'll see if we can maybe beat him in his roster here. So I guess we'll keep things the way they were because things went really well in the playoff or in the regular season. Just don't get bounced in round 1, and we are out of round 1 this time around. But now we draw the team that beat us last year in round 1, and they are moving Anthony Black in the starting 5. It's kind of the same roster, and they've improved even more. Of course, we have a new head coach, so maybe that changes things. But we'll give it a try and see what happens. So somebody current round 3-1, and as long as we don't blow a 3-1 lead, we are back in the conference finals. So I don't know why we couldn't have done that last year, but whatever. And now we get Atlanta. So can we make it happen? So Trae Young is no longer here. Instead, it's Shaedon Sharpe. Why doesn't Portland ever keep Shaedon Sharpe, man? As a Blazers fan, that's annoying to see. They better keep him. Hopefully he can stay healthy, though, man. I need him to see it for a full season, bro. I need it. 19 points from Hugo. Blil with 9, 53% in the playoffs so far. Shout out to him for that. And Mikal is here. There's a very, very weird roster. A bunch of wings, like a low-key a ton. Bryce James even here, and Carter Knox down low as well. All right, well, let's see if we can beat Atlanta. They got a kind of a weird roster, but we're up 3-2, and we're going to a Game 7 with them. All right, so Game 7 in Indiana to see if we can go to the NBA Finals. Can we go back? So Atlanta's had to lead most of the game. It looks like they may be robbing us of a second championship here. Damn, that's unfortunate. So Shea, Finals MVP, Siakam also got, or not, sorry, Siakam. Halliburton got it, but it didn't matter. The Thunder go on to beat them. I would have loved to have seen if we would have been able to beat the Thunder, but we get one last try at it. So Stephen Curry is going to retire. Tobias Harris also retiring a Warrior. We got one final season, like I said, so we're going to see if maybe we can do one last thing. As you can see, the 76ers got the #1 overall pick from the James Harden trade, so shout out to them for that. So Ime Udoka, he got us to the conference finals, so no firing or anything like that's going to happen, obviously. But now we go to draft night. I guess if there was one thing I would maybe do, maybe it's like trade Siakam. Devin Booker has to be re-signed this offseason, so like I guess in theory we could trade Siakam or something and see what we get in return. So we can get Tamani Kamara and Jabari in return. I kind of like it, not gonna lie. We get a really good power forward moving to small forward. He goes up. Evan Mobley's kind of fun as well, just to give us a different look for this final season. Siakam goes to Cleveland or wherever. Yeah, because obviously we're signed with Cleveland. Jalen Williams is fun. Anthony Robert. There's some good damn trades in here, I'm not gonna lie. But I kind of like the Evan Mobley one. I'm gonna do the Evan Mobley trade. I think it's gonna improve our defense just a tad bit. And I'll do it. So welcome to Indiana, Evan Mobley. It's just going to give us maybe a little bit of a different look. Makes us a little bit younger, as you guys know. Why is Obi Toppin still restricted at this point in the video? I have no idea. He's 30 years old. How is he a restricted free agent? Whatever. Devin Booker, we're going to re-sign him, even though we only need him for one more year. And he does have a 100% offer from the Warriors. So the Warriors are trying to snag him. Isaiah Jackson, 17 million. Obi Toppin wants 21 million. So damn, this team. We're not even going to think twice. D-Book is going to come back. W. Okay. Isaiah Jackson, we're going to give him like a 1-year deal because we're only going to go one more year. And we're going to give Obi Toppin a 1-year deal as well because, I don't know, man. I don't like giving some long-term contracts out at this point because we don't really know where we're about to be in the future. But all right. We bring in Evan Mobley instead of Siakam. Will that change things? I don't know. I think that's just going to make us a little bit better defensively. Maybe a tad better than the simulation as well, just because you guys know 2K loves young players. So we'll see if that works out to how I think it's going to. We also, in theory, could technically move Evan Mobley to the 5 and trade Miles Turner out of here. Just a thought. Just a thought. I may look into it. So let's see. If we traded Evan Turner out of, or not Evan Turner, Miles Turner. Evan Turner used to be on the Pacers a long time ago and used to be in the league, but he is since gone. Too much money. Okongwu, no. Miles Bridges, no thank you. It's Robinson, D'Lo, Jaleel, Claxton, Ryan Dunn, Bradshaw, Jalen Duren. Amon Thompson is fun, but not really what I'm looking for. Nope, just nothing there. So I think we'll just run it back. So I will see. Imagine we got Jabari offered to us again. That would be cool. But we'll run it back. 5th season. Hopefully, we get our 2nd championship. Hey, there we go. We finally got an MVP award going to Halliburton to end off this video. Couldn't have happened at a better time. Finally makes All-NBA first team as well. Final chance at it, and he does it at the end, which is phenomenal. If we take a look at the player stats, he had 29 from Halliburton, 25 from Devin Booker, 18 from Mathurin, 11, 9, and a block from Mobley, and 11 from Miles Turner with 7 rebounds. One thing that was also really cool, once we got Mobley in here, we went up to a 5-star proficiency, so that was dope. So we'll see. Can we bring home another championship to end off the video? We get Charlotte in round 1. So if we're running at 9, let's shrink the bench utilization this time around. And let's see if we can go back to the conference finals. We get Charlotte, like I said, in round 1. Sweep them, get them done. Now we get the Knicks. So we beat earlier in the video. They have Andrew Nembhard. Very interesting. Now a New York Knicks. So let's see if we can beat them. And we are going to sweep them. So we are off to a great start. Now we get the Pistons, who always seem to give me problems, but so many current rounds seems to work, and we're up 3-1. And we beat them in 5. I want the Thunder so badly, but if it's the Rock, okay, we got my wish. I get the Oklahoma City Thunder. We are absolutely going to go game by game here. So here we go. Game 1 goes to us. Game 2 goes to us. I was about to say, there's no way we're about to sweep this roster. 3-1? Do we beat them in 5? No. Okay, it's not going to be that easy. I was about to say, no way. All right, let's see if we can win Game 6, or OKC going to give us a little bit of a sweat in Game 7, and it is absolutely going to a Game 7. So to get our 2nd championship in the video, we're going to have to come back to OKC. Let's go 8-man rotation. Let's pull out all the stops here. Game 7 in OKC. Let's just blow them out, bro. Hopefully just blow them out, man. That'd be awesome. We're going to get a close one to end this one. Let's see. I think we might have done it. I think we're going to blow them out. As long as we don't let them back in, we absolutely did. 148 to 121. We got our 2nd championship to end this video. So out of 5 seasons, we're bringing in 2. Halliburton with 38 and 13. Finals MVP. Got an MVP award as well in the regular season. Absolute W way to end this one. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know the Indiana Pacers aren't the most exciting team in the world. They used to be one of the worst viewed videos I would ever do, because that was back when they had like Sabonis and all that still. I think Halliburton's made them a little bit more exciting. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Drop a like if you did. Other than that, I'll see you on the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.